Hey, what's up, everybody? Dwayne Roberts here, coming to you with a new training today. We're going to give it a time for a few people to get up here in the call, and we're going to go and get started. So if you are just now joining the live, let me know where you're from and what company you're with. Welcome to tonight's calls, guys. This is going to be jam-packed, valuable information for you guys on the 3 things that you must do before you advertise. So if you're just now joining the call, give me your name. Let me know where you're calling from, please. Hope everyone's having an amazing week so far. Got some callers coming in. Some viewers coming in. We're about to get started in tonight's lesson. So if you are new to the group, welcome. If this is your first time, put in the comments, first time. What's up, Holly? How are you today? All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the PowerPoint presentation, and we're going to get this show on a roll. If you are coming in late, just give me your name and where you're coming from, and we'll be happy to reach out to you guys to see how things are doing. All right, so I'm going to share my screen real quick. Hold on. You got to love it when technology doesn't work. All right, here we go. All right. Great. So do me a favor. If you are watching this and you can see my screen, let me know that you can see everything, please. Fantastic. All right, guys, we are going to talk about advertising and the 3 things that you need to do before you actually start advertising. So I'm gonna give a couple more minutes for people to join the call. Had a couple people reach out and said they're gonna be a little late, so we'll give them an opportunity, and then we're gonna get going. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started right now. So what we're gonna talk about today is the 3 things that you must do before you advertise. All right, if you guys can hear me, go ahead and put in the comments that you can hear me. Make sure that you guys are seeing my screen, because we did a presentation once and we got halfway through it and then realized that no one can see what we were actually doing. So that's not good. And I just lost that PowerPoint presentation. So if you guys can see this, go ahead and let me know. All right. The first thing that you need to do before you advertise, there's 3 major things that you need to do. The first one is making sure that you pinpoint your avatar. The second one is to initiate your key messages. And the third one is to build your brand authority. See, a lot of this goes along with psychology. So a lot today, we're going to be talking about the psychology side of things as far as conversions are concerned. But honestly, guys, that's my jam. I love talking about conversions. So I hope everyone can lean in tonight and enjoy some deep conversation this evening, because I'm going to go a little deep on the psychology side of things. All right, I just had someone reach out and said that they cannot hear me. You want to make sure they can. Nope. I think we're good. I think you just need to turn your volume up. That's all. Fantastic. All right. So If you're watching the replay, type in replay down below. If you're watching it live, just type in live down below so I know. Now, once again, we're going to talk about the 3 things you must do in order to start advertising. You want to make sure this is done before you spend a single dollar in advertising, because it's going to increase your conversions and ultimately it's going to draw in a higher quality type of audience or a client. So just start off with people that are new here, or you're not familiar with our group. Maybe you just joined. So if you're new here, let me give you a little bit of context about who we are, what we do as myself as a team. We help realtors build a client attraction business model, and we help them do that by increasing what we call their brand authority, lead generation, and the 2 most important things that anyone must learn in order to absolutely crush this business. The first one is how to attract buyer and seller leads. And the second one is how to convert buyer and seller leads. Because ultimately, guys, everything else is just paperwork. So here at Marketing and Conversion, we teach agents how to get to their next level, no matter what their next level is. If you're trying to get consistent at closing 2 transactions a month, then we're going to help you get consistent closing 2 transactions a month. If you're trying to get consistent at closing multiple transactions, then we're going to help you do that as well. So no matter where you're at in your business, we have a plan to help you get to the next level. We go live in this group every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time with more training. So enough for the commercial announcements. So let's go ahead and get rolling with this process. So the bottom line here, guys, is you have to, buyer and sellers need to want to choose you opposed to you chasing them. You see, I want you to think something from the standpoint of a buyer. If a buyer is serious, they went to Realtor.com, they went to Zillow, and what are they looking for? Type in the comments right now what they're looking for. What's the only thing that a buyer really cares about? A house. That's it. So what happens when they go to Realtor.com or they go to Zillow and they look at a house? They get popped for their contact information. And when they get popped for their contact information, they become a lead. But is that lead just given to one agent, or is it given to multiple agents? You guys know the answer to that question. Type down below. Let me know if you think that these leads are given to one agent or are they given to multiple agents at the same time. I'm gonna wait for a little feedback to come in on this one. Let me know you guys are participating. So the answer, if you haven't figured out, is they're given to multiple agents. So when you call them, the first things out of their mouth is going to be not interested or just curious. Why? Because they have 10 to 15 agents chasing them down. But that's not the truth. The truth is they fit into 1 or 2 buckets. Bucket number 1, they watch way too much HGTV. They are not planning on doing anything. They are wasting your time, they're wasting my time, and they are just habitual house surfers. These people do exist. We want to identify who they are and get them out of our pipeline as quick as we can. Or bucket number 2, something is happening in their future, either short future, hopefully, or distant future, and they're looking into their options. So you have to learn how to convert, which honestly is a art form, but we're going to talk about today things that you can do to help that process out a little bit more. At the end of the day, they need to feel comfortable reaching out to you to discuss their real estate goals. All right, so let me ask you a question. Those that are on the call right now, who's worked an internet lead in the past? Just put in the comments right now if you've ever worked an internet lead in the past. Just say I have. Put in the comments I have. And also, who has closed an internet lead? Put in the comments closed. Put in the comments closed. Because an internet lead is a lot different than working a warm sphere of influence. See, people do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. Know, like, and trust. And they're not going to get to know, like, and trust you over an electronic communication. So the three things that you must do, we're going to get a little deep in here, but we're going to talk about pinpointing your avatar. And I'm going to talk about a attraction marketing opposed to what's called push marketing. Attraction marketing means that they have decided that they want to work with you, provided the conversation goes well. Let me ask you guys a question. If you woke up every single day and you looked at your calendar and you had 3 or 4 appointments that were booked from buyers that went through a process who have identified themselves that they want to speak with you, and they have checked you out online and they have identified that you are a cut above the rest, do you think that the conversion process would be easier? If they Googled you online and you looked like $1 million in comparison to everybody else, you look different, you sound different, and you acted different than everybody else, and they jumped on your calendar. I mean, you never had a conversation with them. They saw your stuff and they booked themselves to talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And what if you had 2 or 3 of those on your calendar every single day? Would life be different? Comment down below if you think life would be different. Even if you're watching the replay right now, if you think life will be different if you did that, let me know. So once again, tonight we're going to talk about the 3 things that realtors must do before spending any money on advertising. And the reason why I wanted to bring this subject up tonight is because I see a lot, and I mean a lot of realtors coming through every day that we talk to, and we get the same song and dance. We hear the same thing over and over again. You know, that they're going to go with this lead gen service provider, or they're going to go with that service provider. They're going to use Zillow. They're going to use this. They're going to use that. But you know what I also hear? Those that have been down that road before, what I hear is nothing is converting. I mean, I'm sending out postcards, nothing's converting. I'm spending all this money, nothing is converting. Or they're drawing in the wrong type of people. Let me know if you can relate to what I'm talking about right now. Have you spent any money on advertising and it didn't get the result that you wanted? You spent money on leads, you didn't quite get that result that you were looking for. I think we're going to be honest with ourselves. Everyone kind of fits into that category, right? So we're going to break this down into 3 different categories. The 3 things that you need to know in order before you spend money on advertising, before you spend money on paid traffic, before you spend any type of money on lead gen. So the first thing we're going to dive into is what your avatar is. Okay, you need to know your avatar. So we're going to do a little bit of exercise here. Okay, now when I say avatar, have you guys ever heard that before? That terminology? Are you instantly thinking about the James Cameron movie Avatar? An avatar is your dream client. An avatar is the type of person that you work with the best. Let me guys ask you a question. Do you think that every realtor should service every type of client? Or do you have a type of client that you work with more better than the others? Maybe you're a first-time home buyer type of agent. Maybe you're a move-up agent. Maybe you don't like working with buyers at all and you're strictly a listing agent. You have to identify who your avatar is. And you're going to do that by a few things: their age, their career, income, market, hobbies, their interests, their family, or the situation that they're currently in right now. Now, as realtors, we're not supposed to cherry pick. We're supposed to give all equal treatment. But the truth is you individually as an agent there are certain types of people that you work with better than other types of people. So we're going to talk about how to identify who they actually are. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a list of your top 10 clients. Like, these are dream clients. These are clients that didn't give you any problem at all. They listened to everything that you said. They gave their docs on time to the loan officer. It was just a smooth selling transaction. You got to the end of this thing, you're like, man, I wish they were all like that. Who can relate with what I'm talking about? Who's had a client that was so smooth that you're thinking, man, I wish they were all this easy? That is your avatar. That is your dream client. So one of the things that you can do is you can go online and you can get common characteristics. You can find out their age, the things they listen to, so on and so forth. And there is a way that you can target them on Facebook. Now, before you say, no, you can't do detailed targeting on Facebook for housing, the short answer is you're right. The long answer is you're wrong, because there's ways to do it if you know what you're doing. The point is if you want to dangle your information in front of the right types of people, and if you do that, you're going to attract your right type of avatar. If you have your right type of avatar, you're going to love life because you're getting the right types of clients coming in. So I like to use what's called the PAS method. Pain. What do they need? Let's face a few facts. Moving sucks. No one likes to move. So there's got to be a very compelling reason on why someone would actually move. Okay. So what is it? Are they living in an HOA and they're sick and tired of getting letters every time they park their boat out front? Are they living on a postage-sized stamp of a lot and they want to be able to get a garden and they don't have the room? Are they in a starter home community and they've been there 5 to 7 years? They moved in with one kid, now they got 3. What's their pain point? You have to identify their pain. Now, all this is going back to what we call copywriting, right? So if you put the right message in front of the right person, you're going to get the right bites, right? Now, I'm a big fisherman, so you're going to hear me give a lot of fishing analogies, okay? So if I'm going to go fishing and someone says, here's 2 ponds. This pond is an old pond. And there's a couple bass going around here, and there's a bunch of bluegill. Or we got this pond over there, and this pond over there is chock full of bass. Which pond are you want to fish in? Pond number 1 or pond number 2? Pond number 1, which is the yellow pond, or pond number 2, which we know is fully stocked with the biggest bass you can possibly imagine? Give me some comments, a little bit of feedback. Which pond we fishing in? Pond number 1 that has a little bit of fish, or pond number 2 that have a bunch of fish? Obviously, guys, the answer is pond number 2, a bunch of fish. So how does this relate to real estate? Because the old pond is what a lot of agents are still doing, because that's what they were taught to do. They were taught to go to open houses, send out mailers, send out postcards, go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But those methods still work, and you can catch 1 or 2 fish, but you're not going to catch nowhere near the amount of fish as if you were fishing in a fully stocked pond. Now, the fully stocked pond, that's going to be the internet. Because according to the National Association of Realtors, 89% of all home sales originate and start online. So if the buyers and sellers are online, i.e. the pond, then why are agents still out there doing the old school stuff in order to attract them? 2 reasons. Number 1, no one taught them how to fish. Number 2, they don't know the right lure. All right, so let's say I'm going to this bass pond and I throw in a sinker. I have no hook on it. I have no bait. I just throw in an old sinker and I'll throw it in the pond. Am I going to get any bites? Probably not. But what if I knew for certain that the bass in this pond liked these rubber worms? It was proven that they like the rubber worms. Then if I'm a smart fisherman, I might want to go out there and throw me a rubber worm out there. Does that make sense? So you're going to learn how to throw the right pieces of bait. Now, if you guys have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about and you want to take your business to the next level right now, this is what we teach our students in our advanced courses. We're not going to talk about the right types of bait. We're going to give you the darn bait. We're going to give you the rod, the bait. We're going to show you how to fish. And once you hook them, we're going to teach you to reel them in. Because when you're following the PAS method, the second part is agitation. Is what they are currently going through and a solution. Listen, when I say this, when it comes to leads, if you're having a conversion problem, okay, I promise you when I say this, people can smell if you are commission hungry a mile away. What do I mean by that? If they feel that you're only out to get their money, they're not going to want to work with you. If they feel that you're really there to help them, they will bend over backwards to give you the business. So every lead that comes through really needs to have a $5,000 price tag on their head, but you don't let them know that. You need to put on your, how can I help this person accomplish their goals? And then money, it will just flow. Okay. So we're going to talk about building brand authority. Let me ask you a question. If I Googled you right now, what am I going to find? How much confidence does your audience have in you as their realtor? Do you look like every other realtor? Are you saying the same old thing over and over again? It's like half these realtors out there read the same darn script and using the same thing. It goes something like this. Hi, my name is Dwayne Roberts and I'm with eXp Real Estate Company, and you are on our website searching for properties, and I would love to send you a customized list of homes. Is this your right email address? Let's get together for coffee. Blah, 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 blah. You got to look different, act different, and be different, and your brand has to be different. I cannot overemphasize this. Look, my wife and I just wrote a new book called Lead Conversion Secrets. It outlines our journey over a 17-year career in real estate working leads. Okay, we have only worked leads for the last 17 years. And not to be too braggish, but golly, guys, if you do something for 17 years, you got to get good at it. So that's where we're at. But the point is I'm happy to give everyone a free copy of my book. If you want a free copy of my book, just put it in the comments, free book. Put it in the comments right now. Even if you're watching the replay, it don't matter. Just put in free book. And I'm happy to give you guys a free copy of my book. All right. So we're going to dig a little bit into this exercise right here. We're going to talk about building a brand authority, right? So let's say that you did look different. Someone Googled you. Because trust me when I say this, guys, oh my God, trust me, they will Google you, right? So when you get a lead and they look you up online, do you really know how you look? Or are they going to find articles that you were featured on NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox? Is that what they're going to see? Are they going to see how you were interviewed on your local News Channel 5 TV station about real estate? How would your business be different if the things that I'm telling you right now were to come to pass? What if I was able to show you how to build that brand authority so you look, sound, and act different than everybody else? Not only do you look the part, but you speak the part as well. Do you think that the lead conversion process will be a little bit easier? Of course it would. There are three pillars of brand authority. They have to like you, they have to trust you, and they have to respect you. So you have three goals when it comes to getting leads. Number one, you need good leads and increased conversions, right? Now, let me ask you guys a question because I'm really curious to know your answer on this. What is your definition of of a good lead? Tell me right now, what's your definition of a good lead? Is a good lead someone that's got cash? Is a good lead somebody that doesn't have an agent? What exactly do you feel a good lead is? Because I want to take a drink of water. Is it someone that's pre-approved? Does that make a good lead? Is it someone willing to talk to your loan officer? Does that make a good lead? Let me tell you something. Something that you just don't want to hear, to be honest with you. But I like spitting the truth. So if you like hearing the truth and you're tired of these guru marketers blowing smoke, go ahead and put in the comments right now. Tell me the truth. Put in the comments, tell me the truth. And I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to tell you the truth. Because I believe that is the only way to do business. Is telling you the truth. And here's the truth. Drum roll. The truth is this. Leads are leads are leads. If you get a lead and you call them on the phone and the name is Bob and they answer the phone and say, hey, it's Bob, then darn it, that is a flipping good lead. A lead is a contact information. Now, let me tell you what you thought. You thought I was going to say what you want. Agents want to get a lead, and they want to send a couple text messages, a couple emails, and hope that someone signs a buyer's agency agreement or an exclusive listing agreement. They hope the conversation goes like this. Thank you so much for sending me your information and all these multiple emails that you've been sending me. You know, I've been speaking to my husband and we're excited. We have made a decision that we're going to list with you. Can you be at my house Friday? And while you're showing up, make sure you bring your lockbox, bring your sign, and bring your photographer because, hey, we're going live on the MLS on Saturday. And on Sunday, here's a list of MLS numbers that we want to go see. Just to let you know, we have 850 credit scores and we're putting 50% down. That's what they want. But is that realistic? Absolutely not. That is nowhere near being realistic. So why do some agents do well with leads and others, it seems to be an uphill battle? It is the art of conversion. And that's one of the things that we teach our private students to get to the next level is how to get them to bite the right bait, how to reel them in, and how to get them engaged and wanting to use you. Now, if you're a realtor who wants to improve your brand authority with your audience, like to get them to like you, to trust you, and respect you, and you want to start attracting more clients and referrals through expanding your quality of leads, and you are willing to invest in the growth of your business, I want you to type the word increase down below right now. Let's type the word increase. So what this is a trigger for my team to reach out to you to schedule a brief 15-minute call. This is not a sales call. This is an opportunity for us to get to know a little bit about you to get to know a little bit about us, and see if we've got a match to help you get to the next level. If we can, we'll talk about what that looks like. If you don't think that you want us or need us, or we don't think that you're a good fit, we are at least bare minimum going to point you in the right direction. The reason I love real estate so much is because it's just a numbers game. Let me ask you guys a question. If you were to, if you had enough people to talk to, do you think you close more transactions? Am I telling the truth? If you had enough people to talk to, do you think that you would close enough transactions? The bottom line is most realtors, they just don't have enough people to talk to. That's all it boils down to. They don't have enough people to talk to. And it's probably because they're doing things the old school way. And it's not that they don't want to do any better. That it's just that's what they've been taught. So before you spend any money on advertising, you have got to have your brand authority correct online. It's building your foundation before you throw up your walls. What would happen if I built a house on a rocky foundation, a foundation that was wobbly, and I started throwing up walls? What's going to happen to that foundation? Greg, Samuel, Cheryl, those are still alive right now. What's going to happen to that foundation if I start throwing up walls before it's too ready, before you're ready? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Them walls are going to be tumbling down. So you've got to have your foundation built first. Once you've done that, we start throwing up the walls, right? And then once that happens, clients are going to see you online. They're going to decide based off of the way that you look, act, and sound that you're different than everybody else. And they are going to book themselves on your calendar to have a conversation about buying or selling real estate. And for most people, that is a 100% game changer. Now, for my students who are on this call right now, leave a comment if you feel that our training has been beneficial to you thus far, that you've learned more today than you knew yesterday about attracting and converting leads. Go ahead and put in the comments that what you feel, because I like to have conversations with agents, especially about getting to the next level. And from what I understand, there's a bunch of so-called coaches out there that once they get you on the phone, it's this high pressure, must buy now, you either in or you're out, crazy, stupid price. And a lot of agents are hesitant to book a call because they're afraid that we are status quo like everybody else, okay? And I will tell you right now, we are not status quo beyond a shadow of a doubt. We are in this game to help real estate agents learn how to get to the next level. So our 15-minute call is unlike anything that you've seen before because it's not a sales pitch. It's just an opportunity for us to have a conversation. I want to learn what you're doing now, what has worked in the past, what hasn't worked, where you landed last year for closings. Yeah, I know it was COVID, probably wasn't the best year. For some agents it was, I wouldn't be surprised, but you get a little bit of pass because of COVID. But more importantly, where you want to be this year. And if you have a plan in order to get there. See, if I wanted to go to California, I have two options. I can get out a map and I can map it out, or I can put it by GPS and I'll probably make it. Or I could just get in the car and start blindly driving there. I guess if I go west far enough, I'm going to end up making it. But I'm going to take a lot of wrong turns. I'm going to take a lot of windy roads, and it's not going to be this short path in order to get there. Does that make sense? So that being said, you need to know a game plan in order to help you hit your real estate and financial goals. If you don't know that exact game plan, then yeah, you can get there, but it's going to take you the long way around. My job is to help you get there and to get there quick. There's nothing, excuse me. Wow. There's nothing that I can teach you that you can't learn yourself. The question is how long is it going to take you? I learned a long time ago that if you want the fast track to success, then find somebody who's already been there and model what they've actually done, right? So here's a copy of my book, guys. I'm showing you guys the book here, Lead Conversion Secrets. If you do not have a copy of this book yet and you want a copy, even if you're watching the replay, just put in the comments, free book. Happy to give you a link that you need to do in order to secure your free copy of that book. All right. So just remember, guys, and we'll go and wrap up for tonight. If you are ready to take your business to the next level, okay, then comment increase down below. Let's have that 15-minute non-sales call. Let's talk about what you're doing, what's worked, what hasn't, where you want to be. And if I'm able to get you in that position, if I'm able to help you do that, we'll talk about what that looks like. And before you may think that it's crazy amount of money, it's not. It's extremely, extremely, extremely affordable. We're in this to help agents, as many agents as we possibly can. I've never had an agent go through our process and think, wow, you guys are too expensive. We're very affordable for all agents because we want to help the masses learn how to really do this business. Because real estate has blessed myself, has blessed my family, and everything that we have, everything that we owe is 100% because of real estate. So if you're struggling in your business, and what I mean by struggling, you're not closing 30 or more transactions a year, you're struggling, okay? If you want to get to 75 to 100 transactions a year like I did, then I can show you a step-by-step GPS roadmap in order how to actually get there, right? So Cheryl wants a free copy of the book. I'll make sure you get a copy of that. Hey, what's up, Samuel? Samuel always likes to tune in on Monday nights. Good to see you. Good to see you. Craig, you are most welcome. I think I saw you comment increase, so someone from my team is going to reach out and get you on our schedule to be able to have that 15-minute call. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is before we wrap up, I'm going to open it up to a little bit of Q&A. So we got 3 or 4 minutes. So if you have any questions about what you should be doing before you advertise, what you should be doing when you get leads to convert them, how you build your brand or authority, what the call is going to look like if you chose to book a call, go ahead and put those in the comments right now while I've got 3 or 4 more minutes, and I'll be able to answer those questions for you. Samuel said, without a map, people end up using solo mini old school tools before Rails and ITs. Yes, you're absolutely right. But it's because they just haven't learned a better way. That's all. But the truth is there is a better way. They just haven't learned. They haven't learned what that way is yet. But you know, there's an old saying that once your mind has been expanded, it can't go back. It's like a balloon. I want you guys to think about a balloon. If you have a balloon that's that big, once you expand it, does it go back to the same size? It does not. Once you've expanded a balloon, it's impossible to go back to the same size. Well, once you've expanded your mind, once you've expanded how you get leads and how you convert transactions, your mind's never going to go back because we have shifted the way that you think about lead generation and closing transactions, which is my #1 goal. My goal is to get everyone comfortable getting a predictable, reliable solution to be able to attract buyer and seller leads and accomplish the second most important aspect of our business, which is converting buyer and seller leads. Because if you got a system, if you've got the KFC recipe to get leads, then everything else doesn't matter if you know how to convert. I use that analogy all the time. I'm like, look, I love KFC chicken. And if I knew how to make KFC, probably never buy it. If anyone's watching this right now and you happen to have the KFC recipe, please send me a direct message. I'd love to get that off you. But here's the point. I know the recipe when it comes to get leads. I know what Zillow's doing. I know what Realtor.com is doing because I studied it. We spent over 3 years and $100,000 making lots of mistakes trying to figure it out. So you don't have to do that. We have a program which is cookie cutter, paint by numbers, shows you everything you need to know in order to get as many leads as you possibly can handle. And you get those leads one of two different ways. The first way is called organic. Organic means you don't spend any money on advertising. I have over 200 video testimonials online from agents that I've been able to help. And 70% of those don't spend a single dollar in advertising or low cost paid Facebook ads. Now, you may ask yourself, if I can get leads for free, why would you ever pay for a lead? That's a good question, and I'm going to answer it for you. Because the things that we're going to teach you to do is going to take about an hour and a half a day. Well, sooner or later, you're going to have to make a choice. And the choice is, do I spend an hour to hour and a half doing these things, or do I go out there and show a house? Well, when your pipeline is full and you're better off showing a house, then you turn on your Facebook ads because you don't want to dry the pipeline up. You always want to have leads coming in. But at that point, you're showing property that's going to get under contract. You're already spending made money, if that makes sense to you guys. Awesome, guys. Hey, thanks for joining on today's call. I'm going to wrap up. That's it. If you are coming in late, this will be posted, the whole thing, when it finishes rendering. And then remember, guys, I'll see you every Monday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And next week is going to be with the lovely Amanda Roberts, and she has something really special in store for you guys. Be looking out for that. God bless and good night.